Alright, welcome back again. In this particular tutorial, I want to show you guys how you can convert from a string into an integer when you're working with numbers. So there might be cases when you are taking in values and you'll take in the value as a string and you need to convert that value to a numerical value so that you can do some sort of mathematical operation on it. That is something called explicit conversion, where we're able to use a built-in function or object, use a built-in function to convert our data type. So say for example, and I'll show you this on screen, we're adding two numbers, but we take in one as a string and the other one as an integer assigned, and I just want to teach you guys how to convert from string to integer. So as an example, let's say we're using a variable called x. Say x is equal to 4, and we'll say that y is equal to 5. But let's do 5 in quotes, right? So as soon as you see something like this in quotes, you know that it's a string value, right? And this one without the quotes, you know that this is probably an actual integer value. Remember that you can use comments to place in all the various things that we needed for description of our program. I'm skipping those for now, but I expect that you'll be doing those, right? And of course the commenting of the program, I will try my best to add in those because we are learning about these things, right? So if I were to say z is equal to x, actually this might implicitly convert it for us because Python does do a little bit of the correction. So x plus y, let's see if it gives us an error, and we print what z is holding. And actually let's do an entire statement because we learned about that earlier. So we're saying z has a, well, is there a final answer? Is the, there we go. Why am I getting this quote? There we go. Is the final answer. Those brackets. Alright, so if I run this code, it gives me an error on is the final. It should have given me an error on invalid. I said invalid syntax z. Yep. Alright, so there we have it. So it says unsupported operand of type, and notice it gives us what our error is. For a plus sign, we can't add an integer and a string together. So it's giving us an error, it's not giving us the answer that we want, right? So ideally for this to work, you would have to convert the y into an integer value, which is what we want to fulfill. So we'll convert the string 5 into an integer value. So let's do that right here before we do our formula, right? Before we work into our formula. So we'll say we will take y. We'll take whatever y has and we will make that equal to int of y. Why is it not completing my statements? Right? So this means that it converted what y has, which is the 5, into an integer value, which y should now have, and so it should give us the answer, right? So when we run it, it says 9 is the final answer. So again, what happened? It converted this string into an integer value by assigning sending y into the function called int and sending it back to y. So let's say I had a large number like 459 or 660 something, I can convert that string into integer. I'm hoping that is clear. I'm hoping I don't lose you. Let me put a comment here for myself. For the next time I see this, I will know that this line converts string to integer value. Right? And likewise, you could convert from one data type to the other. So we'll end there in terms of conversion. I want you to try to see if you can convert a value for yourself. Try something that could multiply in or does some sort of mathematical operator using two numbers.